It's Moms vs. Aunts, your weekly happy hour where we chop it up about trends, gossip, solo mom life, and how to level up in this crazy world. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I mean, kind of welcome back to you, but goodbye to Vanessa because she was in LA with me all of last week. We got to hug and snuggle and party and do all the things that moms and aunts do when the kids go to grandma's. And I put a bunch of food in the cat bowls for the cats, and we have a slumber party at our bestie's house, who has a pool, and spend a week together. So, well, I guess welcome home for you because you're back home now, Vanessa.
I know, but it was so amazing to be out there. Like, I felt like we were running some kind of like semi grown up, but like also very ratchet, like sorority house. Cause it was an adult, like, you know, like sort of, in terms of the refrigerator was stocked and there's flowers and, you know, her home is beautiful and there's a pool in the backyard and really nice towels and linen. So they're like an adult, but like we are assholes. So like, you know, lots of foul language, lots of ridiculous stories, lots of talking about boys. And like, then at some point I was like, are we older women, or are we teenage girls? Who knows? It was the perfect mix of both of those. I had so much fun, and I was so sad when I got on my flight. Not sad to leave LAX because that is still the shittiest airport, but so sad when I got on my flight. I miss you guys already. I miss you so much, but here we are.
And we're back. And I'm excited to talk about, because, you know, we were scrolling through the gram and we come across one of our favorites. I mean, she's more than an actress. She does it all. We scroll upon Issa Rae, and she has sort of, it looked like a joke post because she said something about like, oh, like just decided to try on some Vera Wang dresses and do a photo shoot. So like a lot of people, even to this day, still think she was just like making a joke wedding shoot. But Issa Rae did get married and beautiful wedding in what's the place, Vanessa?
So it's the south of France, but it's like even more baller than just being in the south of France, because she got married in Cap Saint-Jean-Ferrat. So it is like a little île off of like the coast of the south of France, and it only has like these amazing like estates and mansions and like Jillian star hotels. I mean, she went all the way with it. It was so princess, like beautiful storybook. Oh my God.
Yeah. So, I mean, beautiful wedding, but like the most surprising part was that none of us, and I'm talking none of our friends, and we have a lot of girlfriends, a lot of Black girlfriends who like are very obsessed with Issa Rae. None of us knew she was in a relationship at all. And she has really kept it under wraps. And her friends, I mean, everyone around her has really kept it under wraps. So we want to talk about secret relationships because it's, you know, I think it's not, it's pretty normal in, I think, Hollywood world to either go one of two routes, right? Either you're on full display, hence Bennifer, right? Or you really keep it under wraps because you want to keep it private. But, you know, it also happens in real world too. So we want to talk about secret relationships. Obviously, you know, stick around. We're going to have the cool down later and the hustle as always, you know, making that money. But we got to do all of this with obviously a cocktail in our hand. So Vanessa, what are we drinking on? What are we sipping on?
So I was thinking about my week at the sorority house, which we refer to as our pool club. And it was so funny because early in the week we were drinking like fancier cocktails, and as as the week went on, it was just like really simple stuff. Nobody had time to be really whipping anything up because it was, you know, how that goes. So we're going to just do like an easy kind of, we're closing out summer a little bit. Not yet. I mean, we still have a good amount of summer left, but easy summer drink. And we're going to make a shandy, a summer shandy, which you were the first. Yeah, well, you're the one who introduced me to that. I think we were out once and you ordered it, and I didn't know that you could mix like juices and beers, and I was skeptical. I remember being skeptical. This was years ago you introduced me to this, and now it's one of my favorite summer drinks. So for those of you, you know, who haven't had one and it sounds crazy, give it a try. There's a lot of different recipes. It's like primarily, like if you just look at the most basic recipe, it's like lemonade and beer. But today we're going to make one with a light beer. So 24 ounces of light beer, which is basically 2 bottles of beer. And then we're going to mix that with tequila. Because you love tequila, so you can mix it with like I think a tequila blanco would be the best, but whatever kind of tequila you like, and then add 4 cups of pink lemonade to that.
Ooh.
I know. And then you can divide that in like 4 like Pilsner type glasses, and then just garnish it with some like strawberries and lemon slices. It is so refreshing. It's, again, we had all of the refreshing drinks by the pool last week, and this just kind of sort of is going to take me back. So yeah, a shandy, a summer shandy, if you will.
I love a shandy. I love a cider. You know, I love a light beer. And my favorite time to drink it is like right after work. For some reason, there's just something about that first beer specifically drink after on a summer day, and you just walk into that dive bar. And I literally can finish it in like 2.5 seconds. And it's like I have to. And then I can get the second one to just sip on.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you know, it sounds like you would want to put like ice in this, but you don't. You just want your beer to be, everything just needs to be really cold. Like, even make sure your glasses are frozen, like pull them out of the freezer. Because if it starts to get hot, it's like nobody wants to drink hot beer, like nobody wants to drink a hot shandy. So just make sure everything is really nice and cold, and goes down real easy.
I love it. Okay, summer shandy. It's not probably anything that they were having at Issa Rae's wedding. I'm sure they were shipping on the finest champagne in the, how do you say it again? How do you say that place?
Cap Saint-Jean-Ferrat, but I think some people just say Cap Ferrat.
Okay.
So,
I don't know if I can say either one, so I'll probably just deflect or go throw to you every time we need to say.
The south of France.
Yeah, I'm going to be like in Nice, right off of Nice.
Yes,
yeah.
in the south of France. I mean, the other thing that got me with her surprise wedding, like I was so here for it in so many ways. Like oh my God, 2 things I'll just say. One, also how much her crew like is so dope, because nobody leaked a fucking picture. There was no pictures until the pictures that she clearly approved and signed off on were like given out to a press person, and then we all saw the same pictures on all the media outlets. And then I feel like there was still like a good several hour period of time before you started seeing like other people you might follow, like Yvonne Orji or anybody else starting to post pictures, because that's what it means to have like real friends, real crew who like love you and care about you. No one has ever put her business out there, and so I was here for that. I also love her mix of like, she's always going to be Issa. Like, she's always going to be like super smart, super intelligent, that, you know, that boss bitch. And then on the low, she's also like, she's got that little bit of ratchetness that I love so much. She was wearing like these like platform shoes with her like super Vera Wang princess out dress. And then she posted a video where she had someone fly in and bring her grills for her teeth. She had them in the back. She had these like diamond platinum fangs in the back. I was like, yo, I love her so much. I stand for her anyway. So So yeah, but yeah, then I started seeing all over, social media, people posting this, like, all of a sudden, I never heard of this before. Have you heard of this, like, don't talk about it till it's permanent? Okay, like, everybody's acting like this is the new trend. Like, you don't reveal, like, Issa started a trend. You don't reveal your man until you have a ring or you are walking down the aisle. Like, nobody needs to be in your business until it's completely official, because a lot of the news outlets reported it as Issa Rae married her longtime boy. I'm like, long time? Wow. How'd she do this for so long?
But also, yeah, I mean, that isn't confirmed. Sometimes I think news outlets create their own story. They're assuming it had to be long term because you wouldn't just get married. We don't know how long they've been together until, here's the thing, because she kept this so under wraps, until it comes out of Issa's mouth, I don't know what's true or not. And that was actually a really great way to play it, because she's like, I'm controlling this narrative, and you can say what you want, but, like, you don't know anything about my life. And that's so important. And I think it's especially important because, and I take away Hollywood. Hollywood is one thing already. Once you're in Hollywood and people are going to dig into your life and they're going to dig into the people you're dating life. And obviously, women are probably going to try to hit on your man and all of these things that happen because of, Hollywood already in general. And I think there's just also something extra in Black Hollywood, especially. It's like, because it's so much smaller, I think you have to be even that much more protective. So, I love it. And I mean, look, if this is the new trend, what's the trend? Don't say it until you...
It was like you keep it on the low until it's permanent. Nobody needs to know your business. It's not until it's permanent. So some people were interpreting that as like a ring, like just being engaged, and then some people were saying like, actually till you're married. But plenty of people have been engaged forever. How long was Cassie engaged to Diddy for? I mean,
yeah.
She just was engaged until then. She was just disengaged and just went to go be with somebody else. So I don't even know if engaged is when you tell him anymore. We're just gonna listen. I'm gonna do what Issa did. So.
And you know what? It's like, I'm just connecting the dots because, Amanda Seales, who plays, I don't remember the name of her character on the show. Sorry, I can't even think of the show right now. Insecure. I can't think of Amanda as a character on the show, but she just also started posting her man on social, and that is very recent too. Like, she never ever talked about her relationship, and literally just within the last few months we started seeing him pop up. So for all we know, they could also be engaged. They might be married. Like, that could be the reason he popped up. We don't know.
I don't know. But the thing that I really like is that it was so authentic with her. It feels like it wasn't like a publicity stunt. It wasn't like whatever. I agree with you. I think she just needed to like protect her relationship. Because remember, her career has like blown up, like from the days of Awkward Black Girl to now, like the amount of deals and things. Also, to be wrapping the series finale at the same time that you're planning a wedding. I mean, I work in events. That's insane. Planning an overseas wedding during a global pandemic while you are wrapping you're probably like one of the biggest things that'll be your legacy, like, is just... Kudos to Issa. Shout outs to Issa. Only love coming from the moms and the aunties over here.
And you know what I love? It really removes, or at least for me, sort of this stigma attached with secret relationship, because when we think about secret relationships, at least in our real world experience, we always associate it with someone not wanting to claim us, right? Like, we only are keeping secrets for that specific reason. And now I sort of like how it's being reframed of like, no, I'm keeping you a secret because you're that precious and special, and I don't want other people to F it up in any way.
Yeah, and also, like, we didn't know, but it's not like probably, I'm assuming, like her closest loved ones, her family and her friends, her parents or whoever, I'm sure those people know. It was the rest of us who didn't need to be all up in her business. Like there's a difference between you're in a relationship with someone and they're a secret, but you're literally you the only two that know. That's a little like, why, wait, hold on. Like I wouldn't be able to pull that off. I'm trying to imagine me dating someone and being like in a real loving, like romantic, like soulmate type relationship with someone and you had no idea. You'd be like, bitch, like where have you been? Where are you going? Who you went on that trip with? You would have had some questions. So I think she probably, her closest friends knew. They probably know the guy.
You know, for sure. I think that we can say that because like it would be hard, especially knowing, you know, we like to travel. So like any person that we have in our life has to travel. So obviously if we were going on a trip and it wasn't with each other, we would be questioning that. But, you know, like, you know, I had an aunt who got married and I felt like we didn't meet the fiance until he was the fiance. Like I felt like I didn't know about him before then. So, you know, and, you know, she was obviously like not old, but she was like, you know, older at that point. So, you know, I don't think she was trying to keep it from the family for any other reason than maybe, you know, like she wanted to make sure that this, you know, maybe she was ahead of her time. She wanted to make sure he put a ring on it before she introduced him to the family. Because like once you start introducing people to your family and your friends, well, now if anything happens, we have to break up with that person too. So and that is like, that gets messy, as we know, as people around us are divorcing.
Yeah, no, that's so true. You remember the guy I dated for all those many, many years. And like to this day, like I still have family members that are like, oh, like they'll say to me all the time, oh my God, I really liked him. Let's call him Jake.
Yeah.
Such not a black name. He's a black man. Don't worry, guys. He's a black man. But they'll be like, oh, I really liked Jake. Oh, he was so... Oh, and I'm always like, he's not dead. Like, he's still... Like, we just don't go together anymore. This was like fucking 15 years ago. Like, stop it. But they just loved that guy so much. And he was such a nice guy. And I still have to hear, like, do you ever hear about him? Whatever happened to him? I'm like, guys, he's not dead. He's on Instagram. Like, go find out. Like, I don't know. But yeah, you do feel like that you are like sharing that person like with your loved ones. Like especially if he's a cool guy, people want to hang out with him. If you're dating an asshole and everyone's like, oh, is she bringing him? You know, like. Yeah,
because there's like the worst part is like, I mean, look, like I hate that people still follow people that aren't in my life anymore, right? So it's like, it's every little thing now because we have social media, all these things that's like, you get connected. Here's my number. Oh yeah. And it's like, oh, like when you're peeling apart, it's like, yeah, I don't like that at all. We're on the, you know, the other side of the pendulum, you know, you have like, again, like people like Jen and Ben who, which is funny because I just saw this clip, this old Oprah clip where from when Jen and Ben broke up the first time, and she said something to Oprah like, yeah, you know, I learned a lot from that media frenzy. And it was
did you J-Lo?
Well, what did you learn? That you should do it more? Because that seems to be what you're doing.
To be clear, I don't even buy it. Like, I don't think it's real the same way I don't think, like, Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan are real. Like, there's relationships that are completely constructed based off of, like, a PR strategy. As a matter of fact, one of our friends who works in entertainment industry was just telling me while I was out there, that like Kris Jenner is on like a whole thing right now. They have to like strategize like who's gonna be next for Kim, because like Kim can't just go into the world and like fall in love. She can't pull what her sister does. Like Courtney and Travis, like Kim's not allowed. You know, Courtney can do whatever the fuck she wants, but Kim is not allowed apparently.
Yeah.
So like Kris is like. For lack of a better phrase, she's almost like interviewing like potential suitors. Whatever comes out next, let's just already know that it's not real. It's all like going to be part of like a PR strategy. So yeah, I don't even believe J-Lo. They don't look like they have any real chemistry. When you see these kissing pictures, it looks so awkward. I feel the same way about Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan. But you know.
I'm in the minority. I look, I don't know. I'm a sucker. I like Ben and Jen together, and I know like people don't, but I don't know why. I do. I liked them when they were together the first time. And I don't know. I just do.
I loved them together the first time. I just don't know about this particular reach back. I'm not into reach backs generally, and I just am like, it's just a weird reach back for me.
Well, see, okay, reach backs are definitely difficult. However, and I think we've talked about it, you know, there's people in our life where, well, maybe this, I don't know if this happened to me, but I know friends who've said, you know, if we had met now, because they were dated before, if we had met now, we would be together, because it is like the right time. Actually, my aunt who had the relationship I didn't know about, her and her now, because he's an ex, said that. She was like, you know, if we got together now, I think we'd still be together, but it was just the wrong time. So, you know, I remember, you know, there was a lot, people, you know, look, Ben is from Boston. I've never been a fan of Boston, you know, because they're just not, I just don't think they take too kindly to others. Yeah. And so I think that she was dealing with that, combined with, we used to make jokes about how, like, you know, Matt was probably like, she's changing you. And like, cause he was getting real, he was getting real fancy. You know, he was in videos.
Yeah. He was definitely on a video on a yacht. Like, sure. Yeah. Like, but I actually really liked all that nonsense.
Exactly.
I liked when she had him out here looking all ratchet, cause he was also the finest he's ever been during that time. God, he looked so good. She had him and she dressed him up real nice. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
Let me tell you this though, because I got a chance to like definitely hang out with a few of our other friends, and so the news broke about Issa, which sparked other conversations with people, and I was talking to one of our good friends, and she was telling me that she knows someone who has been twice married and twice divorced and never told anybody when she got married, and then subsequently referred to the breakups just as breakups when they were actually divorces.
How did she find out? Like later, she admitted it. The friend admitted it.
Yeah, she admitted it, but not to the world. She just admitted it to her. But I'm like, that's even more interesting, because everybody like knew that they were together, but did not know they were married. And so when they broke up, they didn't realize it wasn't just a breakup; it was a divorce. And this happened recently again. So she's telling me this story, and I'm like, oh no, that happened. And she goes, yeah. Not only did this happen, this is the second time. I'm like, yo, she got married and divorced in secret 2 times.
That's wild, because I mean, just from like a emotional perspective, like I can't imagine not having, I've never been through a divorce, but it feels like it'd be really emotional based on the people we know who are getting divorces, and to not even have support system when you're going through that. Like, who would put themselves through that?
I also like, why married though? Like, it seems so interesting. If it's, I don't know, like married and then divorced and then did it again. I don't know. Like,
look, some people must really just like being married. Especially. So. Every time I go to Vegas, if I'm with someone, I kind of feel like, let's just do it. It feels fun at the time. But then, when you get back home, there's a whole other reality. You're like, glad I didn't do that.
Have you ever had a secret relationship that you're willing to share on the podcast?
I don't know if I've had secret relationships. I will say that, I've had what I call hot pockets. We've talked about that, late at night, not so good for you, but fulfills the need. I've had hot pockets, I would say, that were secret. Actually, I mean, I know you know this because one of them I haven't even told you. Because you've asked me about it. I'm like, no. But so yes, I've had hot pockets that are like, they feel like long-term relationships because sometimes those hot pockets could go on for years. But that's it. And again, I do that for like a protection thing because there's too many questions. I don't like answering questions.
It's true, especially with your girlfriends. They're going to be like, how tall is he? What does he look like? Where does he work? What does he do? Where does he live? What part of the and you're just like, see, no, that's not what this is. That's not what it is. That's not what we got going on. We're not. And that's the thing. It's like, it sounds so bitchy and shitty to say, but then, like, when you're really, really busy, sometimes you have these relationships with people and like they maybe are someone who you really enjoy spending time with, and but you're not like fully invested in them in that kind of way. And it's like, it feels crappy, but it's like, I would say like, I'm not interested in like your deepest, darkest hopes and dreams and plans for the future and like, like some crazy story about, some experience you had when you were 8. Like, I don't want to know like every single thing about you sometimes. And those relationships are usually the ones that you kind of just like have in your back pocket. Maybe not every, yes, because the one that you are referring to, I still only know that person as Hot Pocket. I don't know anything about him. You've managed to not share anything about that Hot Pocket for what's going on years, not months, years, way pre-pandemic. So you're very good at that.
So are you saying you've never had a secret relationship?
Oh my God. Of course I've had a secret relationship, but my secret relationships were because they were like taboo. they were like, not allowed. Like, it was like, someone who was supposed to be off limits or something. And then I was like, Oh
yeah. And that's hot in its own other way. Like, when you're definitely not supposed to be doing it, it makes it even more fun. In the minute, yeah. I had a relationship with a guy. We were both technically single, but I mean, I was 100% single. You remember this person in college. I was single and he was supposedly single, but kind of not really. It was like super shady. Secret love.
Oh my God, right? Yeah.
That's what we are.
Cue all the 80s R&B songs. They were all about like cheaters and secret lovers and
right? Like, what were we learning? Yeah. Is this why we are the way we are? Oh my God, it all makes sense.
I mean, meanwhile, like, karma hit me because then I got cheated on. So I guess that's it. What goes around comes around. So no, my secret relationships were in the most traditional sense, not these nuances that we're dancing around with today. No, my secret relationships were because like they were just like not allowed. They were just like not allowed.
Well, we asked all of you if you ever had secret relationships or what you thought of them and why you think that happens. And here's what you had to say.
Hey, Vanessa and Kiki, it's Arturo from New York City. The question is, have you ever kept a relationship a secret? Jason and I actually got married a couple years back, and we didn't tell anybody because we wanted it to be our moment and not invite everyone's drama, opinions, expectations into the mix. It really upset some of our friends and our family, of course. But at the end of the day, I didn't want to perform for people. I just wanted to enjoy the moment. We celebrated it with our friends at a later time. So I think people keep things a secret sometimes just because they don't want to deal with people's opinions and stuff. All right. Thanks so much.
Vanessa, I am, after our week together where we were, if for some reason when people come into town, I act like my bank account doesn't like matter. Like I act like all of a sudden money appears and we can do all these things. Oh, let's go out to dinner every night. Yeah, let's go to the spa. Like I wasn't doing that before you came, but somehow we did that. We did the damn thing. So is there any way we can make some quick money? I mean, I don't know if it's quick, but.
So here's the thing is I had this hustle planned. I kind of wish that I had created a hustle that was going to tell me how to recoup some of the money because I was 100% acting up. I literally got like the most expensive, best massage I've ever had in my life, like less than 24 hours before getting on the flight. I was like, yeah, I'll do that. Sure. But I had already had this hustle in mind. So this is actually geared towards how to set our kids up to be financially secure and how to get them ready and how to teach them about financial literacy, which we touched on in our like inaugural episode. Like, what did our parents ever teach us? But I just recently had a chance to meet this woman. She lives in my neighborhood, actually, and she started this company called Goal Setter, which is, it's amazing. And sidebar, I also listen to these two guys. They have a podcast that I love. I'm sure a lot of our listeners have heard of, called Earn Your Leisure. It's these two guys, black guys. They're always on like the Breakfast Club, and like they have a YouTube, they have a podcast, and they're really great. You can sign up for their newsletter, and I just love them because they like give you financial advice, but in like such an easy to understand, like digestible way. So if you don't know those guys, check them out. Earn Your Leisure. They're on all of the social platforms. So I was listening to one of their podcasts one day, and they were talking about one thing that parents should do for their teenage kids is to give them you know how like you always get an offer for add another user on your credit card or whatever? Mm-hmm. You can add your kids onto your credit card like at, you know, like anytime after like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old or whatever. And even if you never let them use the card, what it does is it allows them to start to build credit. So by the time they are like 18 and they go off to school or into the real world or whatever they do, they already have like a 750 credit score. Because they're not like, you know, we were first day of school getting seduced by some hot guy trying to sell us a credit card. If we'll get a mug if we, you know, if we sign up for a credit card, and then, you know, it starts this bad spiral into like horrible credit card debt. Like they don't have to worry about that because they're already out in the world. They already have good credit. So they talk a lot about like different things that you can do and how to set your kids up. And some of them are really obvious, which we've touched on: having a college plan, a college account, an educational savings account, which is called a Coverdell account, making sure like, you know, you have all your beneficiary information updated. I mean, these are kind of like scary things you don't want to think about, but you have to think about it. I mean, every time I try to have these conversations, like even with like my mom, she gets all like nervous or whatever. But I mean, listen, you got to talk about it. I have life insurance. I have all that stuff. Like you need to have all that stuff for your kids. But this company called Goal Setter is really cool. So the way it works is and it's just like, that's the website, by the way. It's just goalsetter.com. So what it is you set up your kids with an account. You link it to like a savings account, which can also be linked to like their, like a college account or whatever. But think about like whenever you're like, what should I get Christian for his birthday? Or what should I get Sebastian for Christmas or whatever? And I mean, they obviously love everything you get them because you get them all the fun shit that I don't, like telescopes and yippee dogs and all kinds of cool stuff. But like you could also put money into this like Goal Setter account, and they end up, you can get them like gift cards and things like that. But they're growing up in a world that's not paper money anyway, right? It's all digital. So if they do chores and they get allowance, you can put this in their account. and they're allowed to get like a special debit card. It's a real debit card, and you can give it to them starting, I think, at 8 years old. So kids 8 to 18 through Goal Setter also get a debit card, but the parents set the rules. So it's like you can put money on there as a parent. You know how that company Acorn has like where anytime you go to anywhere, if there's change left over, it goes into an account.
It's like an investment account, or
right.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing and connect it to your kid's account. So if you bought a coffee for $2.60, the extra 40 cents goes into their Goal Setter account. But you can also set up like they have fun like financial literacy quizzes. Like if they pass, they go through these like online quizzes and tutorials, and they pass these quizzes, then they get like money put into their account. It just helps them to kind of like start to learn about budgeting and all of that. But the debit card is real. Of course, you can turn it on and off, obviously, but they can use it. And I'm imagining like when I see kids now, like they don't really have money. Like I see them hanging out in the Starbucks and stuff, like, you know, like 12-year-old kids, they're just hanging out. And I always wonder, like, do they just have credit cards? And the answer is apparently yes, they do. They have credit cards, and they have their own cards. And
they also have iPhones, and they probably just like
Apple
just
Pay
flash their phone that's connected to their
Right. And I'm not sure. I was trying to check on that. I think that either they have that on this, or they're building out that platform with like where it's connected to like an Apple Pay or a Google Pay or something like that. But anyways, I really like this company. You can invite friends and family to be part of like your account, so that way you can just see, you know, like once I invite you in, like whenever you want, if you want to drop $10 because, you know, Christian did something really nice or whatever, you can drop $10 in his account, and he can go and look. It has an app. It's very user friendly, and of course I love it because it's a black founder, a black female founder, CEO, and I mean, I see other companies kind of doing these sorts of things in a copycat way, but I want to support her. So so all the moms out there and all the aunties out there, moms, set up your kids a Goal Setter account, and aunties put some money.
And rich aunties, put all your money in it. Okay.
Put all your money into the Goal Setter account. So
okay, with the stipulation that when I get old, you take care of me with all the money that I done set you up with, little boy, little girl, little whoever. Take care of me.
Totally. But no, I do. I think about it a lot. I think about like making sure my kids are like way better off than I was, and like smarter about things than I was. They shouldn't have to wait until their 30s to figure it out. They should know this stuff like way sooner. So
yeah, and I mean the sooner what we learned, you know, in our very first job, you know, about 401ks is compound interest is like no joke. I mean, you know, like what you can make from like 21 to like 41 versus even 31 to 41, it like quadruples the amount of money just from compound interest. So yeah, I mean, if it gets started at 8, I mean, no reason you can't be a billionaire so.
by 18.
Well, I'm burning up in here. It is I think it's like 100 degrees in LA today. It was super hot today, so it's definitely time to get to the cool down. And this cool down, I'm actually dedicating this one to our super fun guest Trishelle, because she was our guest a couple weeks ago, and I saw this story, thought of her. I think it'll be funny, so stick around for the cool down.
Kiki, we have arrived at the end of the show, the cool down. What interesting, fun, or crazy story do you have for us this week?
You know, we had Trishelle from, you know, Real World fame and all sorts of reality show fame on a couple weeks ago, and she told us this hilarious story of when she went on a non-date with Ashton Kutcher. She hung out with Ashton. And I saw this article, now Ashton is married to Mila Kunis. They were on that 70s show together. They now have three. They have two kids together. And they were on a podcast with Dak Shepard, who's Kristen Bell's husband. He has a very, very, it's in like the top 5 podcasts or top 10 on Apple, like forever and forever, that armchair expert. Yeah. So they were on there, and Ashton and Mila said that they only gave their kids baths as infants when they could see dirt on them. They said, when I had children, I didn't wash them every day, Kunis said. I wasn't that parent that bathed my newborns ever. Kutcher added, if you can see the dirt on them, clean them. Otherwise, there's no point. According to this article, that bathing ritual isn't that different from what's suggested by the health experts. Mayo Clinic suggests that babies be washed 3 times a week until they become mobile. It says the couple didn't specify if this routine has changed as their children have aged, because now their kids are now 6 and 4. I don't have kids, so I just wanted I do know that when babies are first born, you can't give them their first bath for like several, isn't it a couple months? I mean, I know it's a while.
Yeah. So, okay. There's so much going on here. You definitely do not give a newborn baby a bath 7 days a week. It's unnecessary. You're wiping him down all the time. First of all, they're little teeny tiny people. So every time they go to the bathroom, you're wiping like all their little bits. So that's fine. But once you reach the part where they are taking a bath, I feel like I gave my kids a bath at least 5 days a week, and now Christian will be like, do I have to take a shower? Do I have to take a bath? I'm like, yeah, every day, dude, every day. But one of my friends was telling me her sister-in-law was like, oh, today's bath day. And I mean, we're talking older kids. And she said she had to pause for a minute and be like, bath day? What do you mean bath day? Well,
it was saying in this article, it said the American Dermatology Association recommends children's ages 6 through 11 bathe at least once or twice a week, with daily showers beginning at puberty. And I was like, so it gets so you're doing 3 times a week as an infant, and then it's only once or twice a week, 6 to 11, and then when it hits puberty, daily?
No. First of all, hell no. I don't know. Maybe that's other people's kids. My kids play hard. They're fucking sticky and gross, and you are not climbing your little sticky ass into the bed like that. No, sir. No way. No, my kids they're 2 and 7, and they bathe every single day. I can totally understand infants, newborns, fine. I also think it's weird that they specified they'd have to see the dirt on them, because just because you can't see dirt doesn't mean that they're not dirty.
Feels like we've gone past the point of virgin. No, yeah,
yeah, and by the way, it's too much information, but yes, you potty train around 2 or 3 years old. No, they're not good at it for many years later. Many years later. They're not good at wiping. They're not. It's fucking. They need to take a bath all the time, every day, every single day. So I don't know. And I'm trying to imagine, what if their kids are running around barefoot and then they just climb into the bed? They don't even wash their feet? I don't get it.
I mean, as I'm saying, I remember, my brother's younger than I am, so I remember him as a kid, and I remember what play smells like. I used to just call it play, but what it smells like when kids smell like play. And I'm like, I don't, that's not going to be happening around mustying up for 3 days before.
I always call it outside. I would be like, you smell like outside. There's just it's like that. Yes, I know the smell that you're talking about. And also the fact that one of those things said, what ages was that it said until 5 to 11 or something? You've got to be kidding me. Kids start to smell way before 12 years old. I know kids who are 8 and 9 who wear deodorant.
Oh no. Okay.
It depends. It depends on the kid. Like, it depends on the kid. Like, not all kids, but some kids get, you know, especially really athletic kids who play sports and stuff a lot. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not down for that.
Yeah.
But again, that's just me.
It sounded like, I mean, I think it's like, it sounds like it's sort of like an overall like family. I think as a family, because, you know, Mila said that, you know, she grew up in Ukraine and she said, I didn't have hot water growing up as a child, so I didn't shower much anyway. And then Kutcher said, you know, he was born and raised in Iowa. And he didn't really have a reason. He just said that I wash my armpits and my crotch daily and nothing else ever. I got a bar of Lever 2000 that delivers every time. I just
okay. I mean, listen, I don't own like a bidet. I could see where if you owned like a bidet that you could feel like, well, you know, maybe I didn't like take a full shower. I didn't move around a lot, but at least let me just go make good use of this bidet and then just kind of be on my way. But
they're in Hollywood. There's no way they aren't going to the gym all the time. Like, people, that's what actors do. They work out all the time. So I'm not, they say, okay, they did say that they do wash their faces every day. And then Kutcher said after a workout, wash your face to get the salts out. But like, what about, I don't know.
Wash your face? Wash your face? What about the rest of you? Ew. Yeah, they must have some, oh man, they must have, woo, good luck. You know what? I am so happy. I feel like I want to call Trishelle now and ask some more follow-up questions. Cause like, I'm like imagining like the two of them must have like some real fragrant pheromone, like hot.
But I'm just wondering if it's like, I wonder if this all started when they got together, because I just don't see like when he was married to Demi that they weren't like showering every day. Like, I just don't see that happening.
Matthew McConaughey doesn't wear deodorant. He talks about it all the time, and that man is fine.
Well, that's fine.
And I'm sure that if he decided he wanted to hook up with either one of us, and I don't know what it smells like, but I'm sure we would be willing to take one for the team and let everybody know what it smells like.
I'm fine with the no deodorant because like part of like, cause you know, antiperspirants, you know, we don't know what's happening there. And so I actually never really had to wear deodorant much until quarantine. I don't know if it was just lack of movement. I don't know, but you know, they said like if you wanted to switch from like an antiperspirant to like a natural deodorant, part of the process is actually not wearing deodorant for like I don't know, 30, 60 days, like getting your body, like I don't know what happens, but like you don't do it, and then you can if you want to start a natural deodorant. But yeah, like I can actually go. It's different after quarantine for some reason. Something in my pH changed, but I could go for a while without deodorant. I just was never like.
What's a while?
I mean, I never really went that long because I'm just used to putting it on. Mm-hmm. But like if I didn't put it on, forgot to put it on in the morning, I could go all day and I was fine.
Oh.
And like
you were gonna say like days and days.
No, and like, but like, you know, if I was home, I could, and I didn't like, I could go a couple days on a weekend if I didn't shower or anything. It never really smelled. Now I'm sweaty. Like I'm one of those people that like my face, I'm like super sweaty. So that's like another thing, but yeah, I don't know. I just, that's very interesting.
And also, I don't know if I'm okay with like teaching my children through that kind of like, you know, I think I'm about like teaching them like good hygiene. So it's important for me, like, cause they're going to fight you on it. They're like, sometimes they're tired. It's a long day. And they're like, oh, do I have to? And I'm like, yes, you do. Cause I want them to know that like here we take a shower.
Yeah.
Here we take a bath. And like, I'll be like, sometimes, you know, cause he's old enough now, like he doesn't have to take a bath in the tub anymore. He can take like a shower. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, take a shower. It's faster. And I'm team shower anyways. I don't really care about a bath like that. Like, it's nice when you go to a hotel and they have jetted tubs and all that. And I feel like I still end up using the shower part. I would rather like a long hot shower with great water pressure than being in a jacuzzi tub with jets on it. But that's just my preference.
Well, for me, you always have to follow the bath with the shower because you're sitting in your own. But I would never do a bath singularly. Like that can't happen.
Agreed. That is, oh my God. Thank you so much for saying that. Like you can't just get out of a bath. You still have to rinse off with the shower because now you've just been laying in your own filth. Like I don't understand.
Like, yeah, you're getting all the stuff off. You're scraping off all of the things and like doing all the things, and now you just want to like rinse to make sure everything has left. Yeah.
Agreed. So,
okay,
anyways.
As long as we're on the same page about our hygiene process. Oh my God, yeah. All right. Well, that said, I actually haven't showered today. Ironically enough.
I know. I stink so bad.
Yeah. Should go do. I don't stink, but I should like go do something. But I did wash my face, so I was very Ashton Kutcher about it. So
well, I got home from New York and my AC was off for a week, so I was like, I'm actually gonna die. I had to like recool the apartment down. New York is also hotter than California in like a stickier, hotter kind of way. So yeah. I'm back. Back to reality.
Well, thank you all for hanging out. We'll be back next week. Of course. I know we still owe you a cool down. That was I don't know. We were going to do some awards show.
Oh, the Shade Award.
Shade Award. So yeah, we will be working on that in the background. We'll get to that eventually, but otherwise, keep following us on IG. You can follow me at The Talk of Shame, and you can follow Vanessa at Vanessa Contav. And we'll see you next week for Moms vs. Aunts.
We'll see you next week. And guys, I really want you to make sure that you are calling in and leaving us some really great voicemails because it's supposedly your favorite part of the show. But we are a community, so we want to hear from you. All right.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Moms vs. Aunts is brought to you by CafeMom. Our theme music is composed by Coney Island Music. We want to hear from you. To give us your comments, leave us a voicemail at 929-265-0277, and we might include them in the show. You can also reach us by email at momsvaunts@gmail.com. Remember to rate, review, and follow Moms vs. Aunts wherever you get your podcasts. And for more parenting stories, real talk, and entertainment news, go to cafemom.com.